Organically Blunt Show, the podcast that dives deep into the world of cannabis with real, informative conversations. Whether you're a seasoned smoker or just curious, light up and join the conversation. Let's get organically blunt. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Organically Blunt. I am Jay Blaze, your host, and this evening I have the pleasure of having Cody from Nedco Homegrown on the Organically Blunt Show. Welcome to the show, Cody.
Thank you. Great to be here. Looking forward to it.
Definitely.
Certainly.
So we like to start the story with everybody, kind of where it began for everybody. So, we're going to dive right into it here. And with that being said, when was the first time you came across cannabis and where'd you get it from?
Um, I'd say I was probably 16, 17 years old. Just got it from the local street guy, it's legal in my state. And yeah, ever since then, I pretty much fell in love for the plant and I started it all really. I didn't,
Definitely.
I didn't really want to get into it, like it's like, oh, weed, I kind of
Right.
had that little bit of bad hype and yeah, no, once you got into it and learn about it and stuff, it's just a plant, man. So
Definitely. Same here. Same here. I was talking to a guy today and he says to me, he says, man, he's real Christian and he's actually the manager of our local Chick-fil-A.
oh
And he's
yeah,
like, he's a younger guy in his 20s. I'm older. So I know disrespect to anybody. I'm almost 40. So it's like, he's young to me. He's like a kid, like my little
hmm,
brother. And I says to him, I says, you're doing well. You're a manager. You're running a restaurant. And he says, you got a radio show. I heard about it. I said, yeah. I said, I can't hide no more in the town. I used to be able to hide here in town and go to the dispensaries
yeah,
and they wouldn't know who I was. Well, name started spreading like wildfire, unfortunately, after
it's
I
awesome.
did a couple of dispo uh, tours and promotions and stuff like that.
That's
Everybody kind
very
of,
cool.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
only support micro grows though. So it's the reason being is a lot of our dispensaries, at least here, are what they call MCMA,
okay,
corporatized, and I don't support corporate at all. I
sure,
only support the growers and the people that stand behind that. So, you know, it's definitely it's a whole different market, but I
yeah,
kind of cater to both sides, but at the same time, I'm a home grower. So if you don't want me to grow, I can't support you. Yeah, it's
yeah.
just how
I
I am.
agree with that.
So,
Certainly.
did you get high the first time you tried it, or did it
No,
take it?
I didn't. It's the second time I got high,
Okay.
and it was from a bong, and I remember like, man, time felt slow. I've never
Yeah,
been
definitely.
probably that high since the first time I smoked weed.
Right.
And
Oh,
like
I'm about ready
obviously
to
you get a tolerance,
experience
but
that myself. We just partnered up with Castle Glassworks, and I got a bong actually sitting right here on the couch behind me. It's still in the box. I don't want to open it and display it. We have that coming soon, but
yeah.
that's a little insider to everybody. And I haven't took bong rips in probably 10 years, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that'll hit
Um,
you good for sure.
yeah, that's what my buddy said. He's like, dude, don't hit it hard. And I'm like, dude, I got to take video and photos and I want to do some cool promo. I'm going to get out in nature and kind of let you guys see what Michigan has to offer. As long as the weather is decent, some of the
Yeah,
spots in
nice.
my area that are very scenic, because I do photography. So I'm like, I'm going to show off the backdrop
Yeah,
more than the
honestly,
bong.
outdoor smokes are the best.
Yeah, it's going to be
The
cool. We
nature
got some,
walks and
yep,
yeah,
definitely.
I'm
Definitely.
about that
Yeah. So,
for sure.
you know, you told me you at least started growing out in California.
Yep.
Is now are you a California native or where are you
Nope.
native from?
I'm native to the Midwest.
Okay.
Yep. Grew up
All
out
right.
here for my whole life pretty much until I was about 20. I moved to California. 21.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
21. I moved to California. I was out there for 5 years and went back to the Midwest and bought a house and
Can't beat that. Definitely.
yeah.
I just bought mine a year ago. Well, it's going on 15 months here very soon. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely, I was homeless before this. I lost my family to COVID. My
Oh wow.
biological parents sold my childhood home, making me homeless for
Sorry to
about
hear that.
home. Yeah, it was rough, but we bounced back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it's all
That's
about,
what
is
it's
being
about.
adaptive and keep going
Yeah.
forward. So you learned out in California.
That's where I
So
started. Yep.
tell me a little bit about that. Like who got you on the right foot? You don't have to say names, but kind of, was it a
Yeah.
friend, a family member? What piqued your interest?
So pretty much what piqued my interest was the plant. Um,
Okay.
and being out in California, it's about the most legal place you can be, technically
Yep.
speaking. And uh, so I love smoking it. I love dabbing it. I just love everything about it. And I'm like, well, let's try to grow it. Why not? And
Definitely.
I had some roommates at the time, and they didn't care. They loved the plant as well. And I started it out outdoors actually for like the first month. Um, the rainy season in California. Um, it they were surviving, but they you could tell they weren't as growing as vigorous as they should. But
Definitely.
um, yeah, then I got my own place and I brought it indoors. It was an apartment, 1 bedroom apartment in California, and I had a little space in my closet. I was able to start up, so just starting. Don't really know anything about it. I went on, I think it was eBay, and bought uh, a Mars Hydro Blurple LED.
Oh
It's like
yeah.
a 100-watt LED. Um, Tinfoiled the walls and threw my 3 little plants that I started outside in there and grew them up, veg for a while. I didn't know what I was doing. One of the mistakes I made was when I was mixing my nutrients, I was using general hydroponics. I went to the hydroponics store and it's kind of what they recommended, so I went with it. And I was using tap water, uh, general hydroponics, and when I was mixing it, I would throw in the pH balance. I was checking my pH before I put the nutrients in there,
Okay.
so
Yep.
my
Yep.
pH was
Yep.
getting way off. And, surprisingly, I made it through the grow. It looked all right. I was hyped about it, and um, I dried them in open room. Didn't really pay much attention to my temp and humidity. Um, and they dried way too fast. And,
Right.
a lot of
Yeah.
that first experience is really helped me learn and,
I kind
it's
of
how
have
we
some
go.
experiences similar to that. I started with it. That's why I was waving, because I'm guilty of the general hydroponics too. Other than at least when I moved into indoor. Outdoor, my grandfather and me, it was normal life for us here, and every day it was like being in the garden. But
Hmm.
indoor was a whole nother ball of wax, especially when I became medical and I bought the general hydroponics box, the one that had so many freaking
Yeah.
parts to it. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, this is ridiculous. I'm like, there's got to be an easier way. And then I ended up partnering up with a company and I still have a closet full. So if anybody ever wants some newts and they're willing to pay the shipping, I will send you bottles, because I got a closet full of age old nutrients. I have their
Sounds like
whole
a deal.
lineup. So if anybody needs any, let me know, because I'm starting to liquidate the closet. I'm starting to work with new companies, and I have a lifetime worth. I have enough to do a whole cornfield. I mean, it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
It's good to try
But
new things, and switch
yeah,
it up
yeah,
and
definitely.
keep trying. And
So that steamrolls into my next question for you. I'm a soil guy. Most of our guests have been soil people or hydro.
okay.
You're in cocoa, which is a whole nother ball of wax. I don't have a lot of knowledge on it except for what I hear on other shows, because I do a lot of listening. I'm a truck driver that does like 6,500 miles a month, and I'm on the road all day. And I know that with soil you have a buffer. you have a bigger window, especially when it comes to being safe in the pH ranges that you need to be in.
Sure.
But with cocoa, it's a whole nother ball of wax. And, would you be willing to touch on that a little bit? Like how you got into it, what made you choose cocoa, and like how somebody else might just get started. You don't have to go real deep, but kind
Okay.
of point them in the right direction here because I'm green to it. So I'm going to be listening as if I'm absorbing this knowledge too.
For sure. Okay. Yeah, cocoa, it's, in my opinion, it's just easy for me. That's why I use it. With soil and other like peat, they're all good too, and they all work in their ways. With cocoa, it dries out fast. I get good drybacks. Drip systems seems to work really well. I haven't got my hands in that, but from getting started with it, from YouTube, it's pretty much where I learned from it. Learned a lot of my growing from watching YouTube and podcasts, and um, with I pH at I think with cocoa and soil, you run a lower pH than you would with soil. I run 5.8 in veg and 6.0 in flower. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know much really about the cocoa. I know it's smooth, works well for me, and that's about all I have to say with the cocoa.
Definitely. Is there anybody that has inspired you off YouTube that specifically like they're one of your favorite people to watch content wise or something? Somebody that could just say, "Hey, I'm gonna go check out and see what he's into."
Sure. Big one that pops into my head, Mr. Grow It.
Okay,
You know,
definitely.
he's huge in the industry, and he has great podcasts.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely Mr. Canucks. Some of the big ones.
Yep, yep.
I I did a lot of surfing on there and watched a lot of the smaller channels as well. Just I like to dig deep into it all, and
Yeah, definitely. Me
some of the
too.
big names they're doing awesome
Definitely.
out there.
Chris is a great guy. I know Chris. I've talked to him. I talked to Pigeons. I talked to Rob from
Pigeons, yes.
CLTV. I talked to High
Hmm.
Again. I talked to all them guys. We're kind of in I get it's almost like a club, a society where we don't discuss content. That's our own thing. That's where the competition of it comes. Is
Hmm.
we kind of keep what we're doing to ourselves until we release it. But as far as these guys being friends and great people, and if you need advice, these are the people to talk to. And they've
Yeah, they seem
advised,
genuine.
yeah,
100%.
they
Yeah.
very much are. They're great
Hmm.
people, all them people. I reach out to them all the time. I'm like, hey, what camera are you using? What mic are you using? How can I do this? How can I do that?
Yeah,
I'm
it's
a
awesome.
question guy because I'm the small town underdog here, trying to make my way out.
Hmm.
And
100%.
I'm about the passion of the plant. I'm not about the money. So I don't have a big budget or anything like that to play with like
Hmm.
a lot of these other shows. But, you know, it definitely, I'm going to try to show, let's see if we can do this here. I want to show people some of your talent here. I
Okay.
got your channel brought up here, and I'm
Cool.
going to see if I can share it. They're not going to be able to see us very good. Um, but they're definitely going to be able to see what's going on here. Let's see here. Uh, Cheers, Lone Star. Welcome to Organically Blunt this evening. All right, let's see here. Yes, there we go. All right. As everybody can see, this man here definitely knows what he's doing when it comes to growing. I mean, I don't know what size tent you're growing in. I grow in a
Uh,
5x5 myself.
that's my 4x4, AC
But
Infinity right there.
holy cow, dude, you got that filled corner to corner. That is
Thank you.
massive
Yeah.
there. I
Yeah, I'm a
mean,
big fan of
I'm
LST
still
and
learning how
scrogging.
to do that. Yeah, definitely. Definitely, definitely. You
Hmm.
got some beautiful work here. I mean, frost on that thing. Amazing.
Yeah,
You're
Velvet
doing
Moon.
good things, man. Definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. I uh I'm impressed, man. When I seen that, I'm like, there's only one other person. There's other people out there but personally that I know that can do that, and that's Northern Scrogger. And I'm like, damn, dude,
He's a
you
big
got, and you
inspiration to me
say you've
too.
only been, yeah, and you've only been doing this 4 years. That's what blows my mind
Yeah,
is
I have a big passion
you're
for
doing
it, so
things, man. You're doing things.
yeah, I'm always, trying to
Yeah,
learn
definitely.
more and you know, keep trying to do better each grow, It's all you can strive for and
Well, and I learn off you guys. Every time I meet one of you guys, I learn something new and I adapt it into my grow. Like I just bought these scrog. They're like grow through grids. They're metal, but
okay.
we're doing our soil series, and my tent is only accessible by two sides. So I can't really full out scrog it because I can't get to,
It,
like, me and
I feel
Northern
that.
were talking. I can't get them all the sides, and
I'm
so I'm
yeah,
yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
pretty
So
big guy myself, I'm like 6'1" and
holy shit. Okay.
220 pounds, so I got my tent in the corner as well, and
Yep,
it's a little
yep.
older of an AC Infinity tent, so I can't unzip either side. I just have the front door. I want to upgrade it, but
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
you should see me crawling around in there 'cause
I
I
can
do. I
imagine.
have to defoliate and stuff under that net, and it gets tight, but
I've done
I
it,
get in there.
and I got a bad back. I got a
Yeah,
bad back,
that
and I'm
makes it
talking.
even more tough, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I was
100%.
talking to who was it? I was talking to Dude from Dude Grows, and I said, me and him were talking, and I said, dude, I think I'm gonna elevate my grow eventually, and he's like, that's not a bad idea. I was like, build. They do it with washer and dryers for old people. I
I've
know that
seen
sounds
it.
weird,
Yeah,
but why not do it for your grow? Bring,
right.
get a table or make
Mhm.
one out of a couple pallets and some 4x4s. Build it up, maybe waist level or a little, maybe even knee level, and you ain't got to bend over to work on your point. You lose your
Right.
ceiling height. I get that. I see where
Yeah.
people have
Yeah.
that, but it's a
I mean,
debate. I mean,
you
do you
know,
want a bad back or do you want tall plants? Most people are
right.
going wide now
Sometimes you
than
gotta
they are going
sacrifice a
tall.
little. Yeah.
Yep, exactly, exactly. So, how many tents do you have, and what do you got going on right now?
I got 3 tents, a 4x4 AC Infinity, a Gorilla 5x5, and a Spider Farmer. It's a little bit bigger than a 2x4.
Okay,
Um, yeah.
definitely,
The veg
definitely.
tent. This veg tent's the 2x4. And then 4x4 and the 5x5 are both flower. I'm
I
kind of just
definitely
trying to
want to
keep
do
a
that. Yep,
steady flow going and um, try to be as efficient as I can with it. Um,
definitely. I'm gonna have to come with you for some advice on the 2x4 because I just picked one of them up. Well, 4x2, 2x4, basically the same thing. But we just
sure,
picked one of them up. We work with Gorilla Grow Tent, and I finally scored enough brownie points to get an auto tent because I developed
nice.
some space buckets of my own. They're very unique. I won't show a lot of pictures of them because the way I got them versus everybody else, mine are fully automated, and
Very
I don't
cool.
want to release the design out until I get it patented because
Okay,
I'm gonna sell them as kits eventually,
that's
but I
cool.
just haven't
Nice.
gotten that far yet. It's a lot of loopholes there. I'm
Sure.
trying to work with the fan manufacturers. All of it's plumbed up with AC Infinity. I mean, they're really cool, but now I want bigger plants because my autos are like my in between harvest, and I'm like, okay, 2x4, I'm gonna put them in there. I got some self-watering bases. I'm kind of trying some different things, but I'm also trying the Pro Mix. Going to be trying the Pro Mix bags that they offer. It's just basically you rip the top open, you put your plant in there, and you water it. And we're gonna see how they do. It's a test, and we're testing a lot of different things, but that might end up being a photo tent or a mother tent. I have the 5x5. and then I have a dry tank here for drying. But I don't have a lot of room. I'm in a like a housing complex, and
Sure.
so it's small like an apartment, so I have to limit what I can do. But I have a whole room with a 5x5. That's where my main testing goes, and
Nice.
that's kind of how I came across you. And to be honest, I was typing in 5x5 stuff, and some of your stuff popped up, and then I followed you, and I'm like,
Well, that's cool to hear.
dude, yeah, I'm like, dude, this dude is filling these tents. So I'm like, I gotta hear what he is doing, and then we connected, and here we are. So definitely it's been a journey. So you've been from California to South Dakota.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
how's the winters there? Because my cousin is from North Dakota. I forget, what is it, the big city there, north, is it Norfolk? I don't know the name of it.
Norfolk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's Indian, so he likes that shit. I mean,
Okay.
I don't
Yeah,
like it. He's full-blooded Indian. Now he lives in Kentucky. But
for sure.
he uh he told
Yeah.
me about the winters there. I can't imagine, man. I can't
It's
imagine.
pretty cold, man. Well, there's quite a bit of snow this year,
And
this
we get a
winter, and
lot. I couldn't believe it. Yeah,
yeah, right. And you know, it, like being out in California, it's nice waking up. How's the weather today? 75 and sunny. How's the weather today? 75 and sunny. But I kind of miss the seasons in a way. I like to get out. I do a lot of fishing, and
definitely.
I hunt as well. And I miss that kind of aspect of being out here.
I can see that. Yeah,
And
definitely.
the winters, something you got to deal with. But
Yeah, but if you're an outdoors man,
yeah,
like yourself, that's a little bit different, especially if you're hunting. You
yeah,
need you
100%.
need the snow for the tracking. It makes the job easier. I I don't hunt personally, but I'm 100% a country boy. Like, the reason I don't hunt is because I have a weak stomach. So like I'll
Hmm.
kill it, but don't ask me to gut it. Like, I'm not going. I
Yeah,
tried it. My stepdad tried to get me to do it, and I couldn't do it.
yeah, it
I
can be
just could.
pretty
Yeah.
gut wrenching. Yeah,
Yeah,
especially the
that's I'll
smell.
leave it to them.
So
I'll just go to the store to buy my meat. It's
yeah,
okay. I know that sounds bad. I'm sorry, but hey, that's me. I'll fish all day, all day
dude,
long. But
fishing, man, I love fishing.
definitely, man. And
Fishing is the
if
shit.
you've ever been up, you ever get a chance to come to Michigan, you'll love it. We got some beautiful lakes. They're standing out there right now. It's the causeway. That's what they call it. It's like a veterans park that has two waterways that run through it with an island in the middle. It has
Nice.
bridges that go over, and then on the outside of that is actually the river has a north branch and a south branch, or is it, maybe it's east and west? I don't know. Whatever way, I don't keep track of the direction, but one runs one way and one runs the other way. It's crazy, but and they run off of Lake Michigan, and then they connect into that, and they connect into another lake, and then they connect to this little area they made a park, and they have bridges, and the highway goes over it. It's kind of cool, but
Sounds cool.
everybody stands on the bridges and they fish, and the walleye are going nuts right now. Like,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
packed
That's
out
the
there right
fish
now.
to
Yeah,
fish to get
I
for
mean,
sure.
you can go out there right now at 10:30 at night, and there's people out there with spotlights fishing, and it's lit up too because it's a highway, so it's got the big lights for the highway that light up the highway at night. So it's like fishing
Sounds chill.
during the
Yeah.
day at night. So you guys would love it, I mean,
Hmm.
my brother's a big fisherman. I'm not a big fisherman, but I do enjoy it. Like, my thing was cars. Unfortunately, I got into the garage, but my brothers, they were outdoorsmen, and they can do all that stuff, and it's awesome. I love it. I like to do photography myself, so I get out in nature that way, do some kayaking. You
Awesome.
know, definitely. I don't know. No, you guys probably don't have a whole lot of water there, do you?
Yeah, not a whole lot, but there's water around for
Definitely.
sure. We have a
Sure.
few lakes around, and we got the Missouri River that flows through here
Okay.
actually, and
Yeah.
um, yeah.
That's cool. Definitely. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, what are some of the strange that you got going now? I don't know if you said or not. If you could repeat them.
Yeah, no worries. So I got in the 4x4. let's see, we got Velvet Moon. Um, that's a dosey dose holy punch, if I
Okay.
remember right. Um, we got Vampire Hunter, which is it's a GMO purple punch.
Oh, purple punch.
Pineapple
Yep.
cheesecake breath. Um, eats from that's the genetics from LA Devil's lettuce. Um, it's pretty good genetics.
Wow.
Came pretty cool with him. Let's see, and in the 5x5 right behind me, that is Velvet Moon as well. That's the mama plant of the
Okay.
plant in the 4x4. Um, and vegging, I have some Yoda soda, and that is actually a strain from Ocean Grown that I'm participating in a grow off on
Okay.
Discord. From
Sweet.
Seed to Stoned
I
is
know him.
hosting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
So
So
I'm
he's
a
over
part of
there
that.
now?
Yeah, he's on the Discord a lot. I know for sure.
I can't
Yeah.
figure out Discord for the life of me. People try to
Yeah.
teach me.
I'm actually
I
pretty
don't
new to
like
it
it.
too, and
Yeah, I
it's a
don't
little
like it.
weird, but once you
Yeah,
get used to it, it's
I'm
very
sure.
cool. And
Definitely. Because he's like the guy that inspired me like to
he's
do
one of the
indoor.
yeah,
He's the
he
OG dude.
I
Like
watched a lot of his videos too starting up,
yeah,
and
definitely. Like
so cool, dude. Like it's when you're
yeah.
starting and just seeing, all the setups, and you're just like, wow,
Yep.
I can do
He's the
that,
first person.
like
Yep.
how?
He's the first person I found, and then I found Rob from CLTV because Rob is actually from my area in a sense. And I was like, dude, I'm like, no way. And then he's like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And then Trey, that's on his show, CLTV, he's from my area too. They're both from this area. And I'm like, he runs a grow shop. And I just so happened to walk in there one day needing a bag of soil and he was running it, and I'm like, "Whoa, no way!" And then, with my day job, I start to deliver to these guys. Like they order different stuff, and I work in the food industry and stuff. And these people deliver. I deliver to them, and they'll be like, "Don't tell people where we live." And I'm like, no way!" But this is sick. Like, you guys inspired me. Like, I want to get to that level. Like that, it's pretty cool. And we all have our
Definitely.
inspirations. So it's definitely cool to hear about it. Now,
Hmm.
when you get high, everybody has a go-to munchie. Mine is Little Debbie's and sour candy.
Okay.
What is yours?
Let's see. I'm not a big sweet person. Really, whatever I can find in the fridge.
Okay.
Cereal.
Oh
Cereal's
yeah,
a good one for me.
definitely.
It's easy, quick, bunch of different flavors.
Sure.
You
Definitely,
know, uh, it's a big one. Really, I'll cook a meal if I need to.
definitely.
Something,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
definitely,
If I got the
definitely.
munchies and I need to eat, it's whatever's available, man.
What is your preferred way of smoking it? Is it a joint? Is it a bong? Is it dabs? Like
uh,
I know you like all of them, but like if you had one way to choose,
One way is tough to answer. If I'm not rolling a joint, I'm hitting my Puffco.
I
It's
want to
probably
get one
the
of
best way to
those.
put it.
Definitely, yeah. My
Yeah,
buddy's got one and he carries it around at festivals. It's a little one, like I don't know, it's a little
yeah,
one, and he's carrying it around and not walking around the festivals. And I'm like, dude, that's so cool. And it's
dude, they're
fully
so
contained.
convenient. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I got the Puffco Peak Pro, and it's just 3D chamber, so that the sides of the bowl heat up as well.
Wow.
And yeah, you just get awesome rips, and they're so
Yeah, I
convenient.
can imagine. Yeah, I've always been a flower guy, so like I've never really gotten into the other things, and I'm starting to experiment with them a little bit. I've tried dabs it when I was younger, and
Okay.
I got sick, and I haven't tried it
Yeah.
since. And I tried bongs, and it hurt my lungs. But the one I got now is that they designed that I'll be showing you guys. It's supposed to be like extra smooth, and it's gonna be
Very
cool
cool.
because
Yeah.
we're gonna be doing a spring fling giveaway. I'm gonna be releasing it on our channel some more, but I'll talk about it a little bit real quick. And we're trying to hit our first 1,000 subscribers. We're getting close to the 500 mark, so we're halfway there. And I'm giving away a tent. I'm giving away a bong. I'm giving away genetics. I'm giving away a bunch of crap. I just haven't decided, and I'm going to kind of let the audience vote on it. If we want to do one big package giveaway, or kind of give a chance for everybody to kind of win something and give away multiple smaller things. So
Hmm,
I haven't decided what way to take it yet. So if anybody out there is watching, leave a comment. Let me know. Because the feedback will let me know what way to dictate what way we're going to go forward, because I got a lot of big companies that are interested in putting some stuff in this contest, so it's going to be
that's
fun.
cool. Very
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. And it's just our way of giving back to the community. I just want to hit that 1,000, because when you hit the 1,000 mark, yes, people are like, well, that's when they make money. It's not even that, because they don't pay for nothing. It's like
Hmm.
13 cents every 1,000 views. Like, yeah, it's ridiculous, but that's not why. The reason why is because then they start to put them up more to where they can be viewed, and we can continue to grow. And the happier we make our partners, the more we can offer you guys, because they'll be more willing to say, hey, we'll give you guys this to give away. And that's where we're at right now. And we're going to be giving away some more HLG stuff. I just got off the phone with them this morning. They're my main lighting sponsor. Yeah, definitely loan. We're going to be giving away multiple stuff. I just got a bunch of packs of seeds, and we get seeds like every day. So it's going to be great, because we're going to be giving back to you guys and stuff. But do you do any outdoor growing where you're at?
Nope, I do not. I am a med card holder. I don't even
Sure.
think our state will allow it, even with,
Okay.
yeah. But
Hey,
I don't know
I
if I
know.
I don't know if I'd want to venture out and do that myself. I would like to
Right.
try it, I
Sure.
guess, one day, but
Definitely. Definitely. I'm not sure how your summers are as far as heat or anything here.
hot and humid, yeah.
Yeah, it's like that here too. And then we get rain at the end of the season, and then you're fighting PM and powdery mildew, and
Right.
you're fighting bud rot. And I see people go out into
Bugs.
their fields with electric leaf blowers, and they're blowing the rain off it. And I'm like, no, but
Man.
hey, whatever you want to do, it's your crop. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely interesting. I'm in an agricultural area, so I see a lot of it. My family owns a hemp farm, so like they got a
Cool.
cornfield full of it, but hemp's not as cool as you think it is. It is, but it's not. It's cool to see
See,
until you realize it's hemp, and then you're like, okay, how much is that paying? And they're like, oh, it's. I think they were saying back then it was like, and this was when prices were good before they dropped out on the THC side.
mm,
Is cheers from Thailand, definitely. It is evening here, but good morning
cheers.
and welcome to the
Yeah.
Organically Blunt Show. Definitely. So, but it's when I think we were getting 1,800 a pound back then, me and my grandpa. I know that sounds like a lot, but this was when we were first growing outdoor. And my cousins were moving it for like 200 a pound. And it's like, that is not worth it. And they're like, oh, but they make clothes and there's other things. And I'm like, that's good, but the money's not fast enough. You got to grow a whole field just to make your
Yeah.
profit.
Yeah,
Like,
you'd need a lot.
yeah,
Hmm.
it's fun though. You learn a lot, you
Yeah.
do, and that's what is great about it. So you grew it. It looked like in one of them totes. I've done that before. Is that what it was? Is like
Um,
a plastic tote, or what was it?
I think in the 5x5 you're referring to, no, that's just a overflow runoff. Uh,
Okay,
the lid from the tote I'm using just to catch, because I'm using a 10-gallon pot in the one plant 5x5 scrog.
okay, all right,
And I didn't have a big enough
sure,
overflow pan to catch the water,
okay.
so I just
I
used
only
the top
caught a
of the
glimpse of it,
tote.
and I'm like, wait a minute, I got some of them totes, and I turned them into actually DWCs. back
Okay.
in the day.
I've seen that. I've seen that.
Yep, yep. And
It
I'm like,
looks like it
well,
works well. Yeah.
I'm like, did he do DWC with Coco? And I know nothing about Coco, so I
Hmm.
don't know how it works, if it'll work with DWC or not. I don't know. But I was like, if he did, man, that's awesome, because that would be why that thing is so huge. I'm like, because hydro, when I did the EWC, it was like supercharging the plant. We
Yeah.
just talked about that on the last episode. A guy was asking me, and I'm like, I used to do it, but then I would stop in veg and I would transfer it to soil. And I know people
Okay.
are like, that's weird, that's different.
Hmm.
But I didn't know, I didn't have
Right.
no education other than a couple videos. And they'd get so big, and then they'd start to get a little root rot. And I was like, well, I don't want them to die. So I put them in
I
the
gotcha.
soil.
Sure.
Yeah, and I didn't know how to maintain, I guess you'd say, a healthy reservoir, because I knew nothing about it, and I didn't know what to research, because in my town we only have one blink of light, and it's like so small town. Like my
Hmm.
graduating class had 80 people, I think, 80 some odd people, and that's tiny.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 and it's like it's like we don't venture out that much to that kind of stuff. Most people don't even leave the town. Like,
Yeah.
they're working at the agriculture places, and the women usually become school teachers. So like all the girls I went to school with are now teaching everybody's kids. So it's like
Hmm.
everybody just
Crazy.
continuously generational,
Right.
and it's
Continuing to run
crazy.
small town. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. So what can we expect from you coming up? And are you doing any breeding of your own yet?
I've wanted to branch out and try that. I haven't done any breeding. I've done a little bit of research on it, uh, reversing the
Yep.
plants and spraying down the branches. I don't remember what the spray would be called.
STS.
Yes, that's it.
Yep.
And yeah, reversing it, to get feminized seeds. And I've I don't know. I've thought about it. I don't have the room mainly. The room,
I feel
it's
that,
always an issue
definitely.
with everyone
Yep.
is having that amount of room to do what you want. And you always want to do more. And um,
Yep.
yeah, for what's up to come, just new strains. Continue filling these tents out. I am gonna upgrade my 4x4 to a 5x5 gorilla. So I'm
Okay.
gonna have two 5x5
Yeah.
gorillas right next to each other, essentially, and it's gonna be scrogging them both and having some awesome canopies and having fun doing it
Definitely.
and
Definitely. Now, what do you
enjoying the
run for
plant.
lights, if you don't mind me asking? Like, what brand
Yeah,
lights you run?
no worries. I got a kind LED in the 5x5. It's a kind X750.
Yep.
Awesome light. Can control like two spectrums on it. The UV and like the white spectrum, you can control both of those. You turn on the UV and stuff during flower. You kind of save energy that way. And then
Sure.
I got in the 4x4 Prime Grower SOL 1000, and I actually
Okay.
won that LED. And
Wow.
yeah, so I'm trying it out as my first grow with it. It's a little overkill for my 4x4. It's 1,000 watt LED. It's
Definitely.
literally like wall to wall in it. It's the one reason why I want to upgrade the tent. So I got enough
Definitely.
LED to do so. So um,
Definitely.
yeah, that light's running at 800 watts, like it's roughly 35 inches from the canopy right now. So
Woo.
yeah,
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
cooking.
Definitely.
And one thing with that light, it's a little hot in there. To make sure I'm keeping this room cool. And
Definitely.
in the veg tent, I have a chilled tech LED.
I've heard
Um,
good things about them.
it's a
Definitely. Yeah.
330 watt. Um, it's a full veg spectrum, so it has a lot more of the blue than like the far red LED.
Okay.
It's supposed to
Wow.
help with like node spacing and stuff to make the nodes
Yep.
grow
Yep.
closer and prevent stretching. And yeah, that's what I got for LEDs.
Definitely,
I'm a big fan of the bar LEDs for coverage.
definitely.
The
So,
board style are nice, but prefer
right.
bar.
Like I said, I got off the phone with HLG. We work with them, but we also work with Kind LED. And I actually, that was the two key words that I found you off of were the 5x5 and the
Hmm.
X750. I have an X750 myself. And one of the
Awesome.
questions I want to ask you, since I got you on here, how are you combating the heat issues from that thing? Because I tell you, that thing put off a lot of heat for me, and I had a lot of issues. Maybe it was just me, you know?
Sure. Honestly, compared to like my prime grower SOL, the heat is not nearly as bad. And so with the Gorilla 5x5, it's a lot taller tent. I do have an extension on there. I feel like it helps the heat rise a lot more.
Sure.
I'm keeping my exhaust fan, the AC Infinity exhaust fan, on like setting 6 or 7.
Okay.
So it's moving air, and
Sure.
I also have a fan, intake fan, that is blowing air into the tent, just to get maximum air circulation and keep
Definitely.
fresh air
Definitely.
going in, and getting that hot air out. And I haven't had any problems. I haven't really been here long enough to have a full grow in the summer.
Sure.
Um, so we'll see how it goes. I am in a basement, so it stays
Definitely.
cooler down here.
Yeah, I can see
Um,
that.
and I'm loving the winters, as in I can crack the window and let
Oh, I
some
bet.
cold air in, that
Yep.
really
Yep.
helps with drying my flower. I can
Definitely.
keep a stable
Definitely.
environment.
I talked to Kind, because I was like this. I'm like, what am I going to run this next round? I have an HLG Scorpion 700 FR, and I have a Kind LED X750 or X750. Sorry, yeah, X750. And I'm like, well, what one do I want to run? I unfortunately chose to go with the HLG again because of the easiness of the control. It is a board style. I do prefer the bar style myself. I
Okay.
talked to HLG this morning. Now, you didn't hear this from me, but you heard this from me. There is a couple of things in the works with HLG that with the bar style lighting. Okay,
Awesome.
and that's all I can say. But long story short, they've always been known for their boards, and they even told me that this morning. Kind of, I did run it in the summer and had a lot of heat issues. That might be why. I'm
It'd be
still
nice
trying
if
to
the
dabble in.
driver was attachable on
Yeah,
that.
I agree. And I thought it was at first, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. And then I started putting it
Yeah,
together, and because it
it's one
folds
thing
up,
it's
it
lacking,
folds
and a
up.
good controller.
Yeah,
I don't
and
think
that's
there's a
what I
lot of.
told him.
Yeah.
I gave him direct because I talked to the marketing rep. I deal with Grow Strong Industries, which they own Kind LED,
Hmm.
Gorilla Grow Tent, and Lotus Nutrients, which we run
Yes,
all
sir.
three. And
Yep.
I told him, I said, you guys got to get some wireless controls into this, where we can control it from our phone. I said, it's all the hype. Me as a truck driver, I like to make sure my light powered on. It has a built-in timer, which makes it one less piece of equipment you got to buy. It makes it
Hmm.
easy. I love the light. I just feel like they could put a controller on there, and they call it the Grow Flux. That's what HLG does. They work with a company called Grow Flux, and it incorporates it. You can buy the unit itself and put it on different lights, but certain lights
I
won't
see.
take it.
Right.
And what it does, it has an app. I can emulate dusk to dawn. I can change percentages. I can
Yeah.
put in the hours I want on, hours want off. It shows the
Yeah. It's
par.
so
It,
convenient.
it,
Yeah.
it it's so smart, and it's like, and I told Kind, I said, you guys got to do that, and they said, oh, we are going to work on that now because we see how a demand is. I said, yeah, to be able to control your light from afar and monitor it is good,
Hmm.
and then the only one thing that would be technically missing, which hopefully they find it, I know the plugs have it, would be a power outage sensor. So like it sends a signal to your phone and lets you know, hey, your power just went out at the house. You might want to get
Yeah,
home.
that would be cool. That would be
Yeah, like
nice.
because
Yeah.
we've dealt with some ice storms lately, and I'm talking
Okay.
some of these people had 3-4 days without power, and they're in flower and stuff,
That
and
would
it's like,
take me out.
oh yes,
It
exactly,
would. It would. I don't have a
exactly,
generator or anything, and
exactly, yeah,
that
same
is a
here,
nightmare. Especially,
yeah,
we get a lot of big
exactly,
storms out here, and
yep. So
I'd
you
have to
know,
invest one day.
it's things to think about.
Hmm.
You can get them rechargeable battery pack generators that don't make noise. I don't know how big they go up to now, but I was thinking about going that route because it don't make noise, and if it will run at least on the minimum my light and on
Right.
one, and then if I got like another one to run the ventilation, I would be okay.
Hmm.
I even if it ran the light at at minimum percentage, just
Right.
enough.
Just to keep them
Yeah,
out of flower, or not stress them
exactly.
out,
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly. And that's where I'm at because a lot of these guys. One guy had a crop, tossed his whole crop, and I'm like, man, that sucks.
Oh man,
So
I can't imagine.
I gotta ask the famous question, and we want the first organic person that pops into your mind, and that is if you could smoke with anybody dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Hmm. It's a good one. Man, a few names popping up in my head. Um, Snoop Dogg, man, of course,
Definitely.
Snoop Dogg.
Yep.
Uh, Willie Nelson, be cool.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Um,
Definitely.
yeah.
Yeah, they're pioneers. Willie don't smoke; he only eats it now. And
Oh yeah,
Snoop
right. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Snoop
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg, he if you pass it to him, you ain't getting it back. So I'm just telling you right now. There
Better
are
take
people I wish I could smoke
just
with too.
keep sparking one up.
Exactly. Well, his guy that rolls him, and this was like 2 years ago. His salary was $50K a year to roll blunts all day long for
I have
Snoop.
heard that he has a blunt roller.
Yeah,
That's
and
the
I'm like,
life,
dude,
huh?
that's sick. Well,
He's got
yeah, I
someone
guess the
rolling the
guy
weed for
actually
you.
got to go on a podcast. I got to find it because I want to connect with him, you know, and I want to hear what that lifestyle is
That
like
would be
to just
cool.
sit there, yeah, and have to roll joint. He
Right.
pearls them because Snoop's got perfect blunts and joints, so they got to be perfect. I mean,
Do your hands ever cramp?
right? Like,
Is it that
do you do
serious?
hand exercises? Are you
Yeah.
doing them squeeze things to keep your muscles strong? Like, what are
Right.
you doing here? Like, yeah, like crazy.
How
So
much overtime do you work?
right, exactly. Definitely. So it's been a fun having you here. We're coming on the hour mark. I kind of try to wrap things up at the hour mark here. And is there anything anybody should know about you? Where to find you? Where to connect with you? Anything of that sort?
Um, I'm only on Instagram right now.
Okay,
It's username's Nedco_Homegrown.
definitely,
Uh,
definitely,
if you have any questions, hit me up on there. Always down to explain my grow and what I'm doing, and you know,
definitely.
answer any
Yeah.
questions.
It was an absolute pleasure, man. I had fun having you on here and learning about different things and learning a little bit about cocoa. Now, the one question I do have to ask, another one before I let you go.
For
Something
sure.
I heard the other day, and I don't know if you do it or if maybe you'll want to check into it. If you don't, I don't know. I heard a lot of people pre-wash their cocoa and then they let it dry out and then they do something with it again and then they use it.
Okay. I haven't really heard much about it or looked into anything about it. I
Okay,
personally, I guess I could do that myself already. I will, set my pot up. I use fabric pots.
sure,
Um, let's say I'm transplanting into a 1 gallon pot. I'll put the cocoa in there and I'll water it with my my nutrients, pH and whatever EC I want to run. Normally 1.6 in veg with my Athena nutrients.
sure.
Um, and I'll water it down, let it have a dry back, and do that once or twice, and then I normally transplant. So I guess maybe I am doing that already. I haven't
Yeah,
looked into it,
kinda,
but
kinda.
not sure if
Because a
that's
lot
what
of
it
people
is.
say that the dust on it, you want to wash that away when you
Okay.
get it. So,
Yeah.
And
I could
I
see it
just heard
for
it
sure.
on the Dude Grow show. I listened to them, and it was, or maybe it was High on Homegrown, one of the two. They're both very informative shows, and it was how to grow in cocoa the other day, and I was listening to it. I wasn't fully interested because I never have an interest. I'll just be honest, I don't.
Hmm.
And but I wanted some knowledge on it. I do the show. I wanted some information, so I at least had an idea. And they
Okay.
were
Yeah.
saying that um, cocoa core, it comes in like fiber, or you can get it in like a pelletized, I guess now. And
Yeah. Yeah. You wet it and it'll be like a little brick
yeah, I've
essentially.
heard that too.
You
Yep.
wet
And
it and
and Scotty says, yeah, I put it in my 5-gallon bucket and I wash it all off, all the dust. It instantly comes off, basically. He said, once it's wet. Then I dump all that off and I let it dry out. And then I rinse it again until the water comes clear. And then I dry it out for 3 or 4 days again. I think this is what he was saying on there. And then he
okay.
uses it. And I
Yeah,
guess
I've never done that.
you'd have to. I'll try to find the link on the show and I'll send it to you. Maybe you.
Okay.
Maybe I'm not saying change your ways. Obviously, you're doing great. I'm just saying like it
Yeah,
might be
no,
some new knowledge for you. I
yeah,
don't know.
certainly.
I'm not a cocoa grower, but I thought it was interesting. I was like, this is interesting. That they pre-wash it and
Hmm.
stuff like that. So
That is
you know,
interesting.
definitely, yeah, definitely. So, with that being said, I'll send you that link afterwards, and I'll put your link to the Instagram in here, and everybody can see
Okay.
what you're doing because I'll tell you, you flabbergasted me, and definitely I was shocked when I seen that tent. I was like, holy shit. I'm like,
I appreciate it.
so what? Okay, I gotta ask one more question. I'm
Oh
sorry,
yeah,
one
no
more.
worries.
What did what do you pull off a harvest on something like that?
This last harvest I had in my 5x5 with the kind LED. I had 5 plants in the scrog. It was right at 2 pounds of of good solid nug.
Help
That's
me.
that's that's no that's
Right.
no little popcorn nugs. I
Man,
use
I
all that
wish.
make into hash and I squish into rosin.
That's what I
Um,
need right there. Yep.
and yeah, so about
I
two
gotta get
pounds
two
roughly.
pounds because I smoke 2.5 pounds a year. That's my
Okay.
average.
Yeah,
And
shit, you'd be good off one harvest if you get a two
if
pounder,
I
you
can
know?
get that much, I've never had
Yeah,
that much on indoor. Like I'm still learning. I'm soil guy, but
for
we're
sure.
on this next run. We're gonna be doing the soil series. We're doing I bumped from 5 to 7. I work with rain science, and I know people are like, "Why don't you go 10?" Even Jeremy from Builder Soil said that to me. Now I got 20-gallon here for outdoor, but I was going to put
Hmm.
4 of them in a 5x5, and people thought it was too much, and I was like, "Okay, well then I won't." But you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
I'm
Uh,
going 6, 7 gallons, and I'm going the GMO Oreos from Sofim Genetics, which is a local breeder, and I'm going Sohum Living Soil in 2 of the pots. In 2 of the next pots, I'm going Pro Mix. And 2 of the next pots, we're doing re-emitted Builder Soil Craft
okay.
Blend 3.0. And I'm going to show the difference in how they each do, kind of show which ones are better in different points and which ones are easier and which ones are
Sure.
maintaining a good pH.
Yeah.
Even though I don't really do pH in soil, I'll be honest, and I'm guilty. I don't. I've never
Does
really
it
had a problem.
does it kind of like set once it's set with soil, or
Yeah,
does
pretty
it
much. I
fluctuate
mean,
then, or
yeah, we do have some fluctuation. It depends on the nutrients you're putting in and
okay.
the inputs and stuff like that. But I mean, my water is kind of neutral-ish. It's a little high in my opinion compared to what I used to be at. I'm at about a 6.2, 6.4. It depends on. I'm in city, so it's city water, and then I
Okay.
put my newts in, and it bumps it up to 6.8, and then by the time I get it into the soil, it kind of balances and buffers itself out to right around 6.2, just
Okay.
which isn't bad for
Yeah,
me,
that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've got some equipment I haven't tried that I want to try, playing around with just to see where the soil is right out the mix, right out the bag, at least pH wise, before even doing anything with it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of for records, I have a Milwaukee 3-in-1 soil probe that is brand new in the box. I still got to calibrate it, but we're going to put it to the use and see what these sit at out of the bag. Just curiosity. Different things. Different specs that we're going to be able to report on and kind of come back on. And like I did the Colorado worm castings from Builder Soil and mixed it in with the 3.0 blend that we just did, and it had worms in it and in the
Really?
bag, and they shipped it to me like from Colorado, like so like
Wow.
it still has living worms in it, and it's in my bed now, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I think I'm gonna play around with some stuff just for some short video content and for fun, and put a half of avocado in there and see how long it takes for the worms to eat it up.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
interesting.
it would be interesting little experiment. Yeah.
Yeah. Just like I'm gonna do a video on um, how to wash your Rain Science grow bags. I'm going to the laundromat. I gotta wash a crap load of them, and I'm gonna show how to do it. And I
Yeah.
reached out to them, and they told me, some of the things I can do. I mean, these things are so packed in the bottom with roots. The roots literally form the whole bottom, like it's grown right through it on both sides. And I'm still hoping that it'll come out. I'm hoping the laundromat don't get mad at me if they find roots in the washer, but I'm gonna try to get most of them out before I go
Right.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. So
Yeah. And in regards to upping your harvest, do you top your plants at all?
I
Or
haven't. What we've always done for the indoor testing for different companies, including Seedsman and stuff, is we like to try to see what it does naturally. But I
okay.
have topped in the past. Have I done it right? I don't know. Maybe I femmed and I thought I topped. I don't know. But, you know, I'm going to get back into doing that again. It's not that I'm afraid to do it. I just don't want to, I guess you'd say, mess up. But I know it's pretty straightforward. I know what I got to do. And I think I just need to
Mm-hmm.
implement it. My problem is I'm still learning the indoors thing. So, like, when to top, like how many nodes up, when is a good
Yeah.
time, I
I,
don't want to do
I
it too soon. I don't want to do it too
yeah.
late.
I top fifth or sixth node normally. I just top
Sure.
one time. Right then and there. As soon as them branches start coming out, start two
Yep.
new branches,
Okay.
I'll start my low stress training, and I'll pull each branch out, and the other branch, just keep
Yep.
making it into a bush,
That's
LST.
what I do. Yep.
I use fabric pots, very common. And to tie down my branches, I'll use Velcro strips. It
Really.
comes in a big roll,
Yeah.
um, and you can. I thought maybe I had some right here. No, but
And
you can
I know
just,
what you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah, you can rip it, whatever length, and
Yep.
it velcros right to the fabric pots. It's super easy to use. Yeah,
I never
tie your
thought of
branches
that.
down, spread your plant out really as
Yeah.
much as you can without breaking the branches, and think about how you want the plant to grow and like what direction, and
Definitely.
get light to places that aren't getting light. You know,
Definitely.
spread
Yeah.
spread that plant out. Show light deep inside the middle of the plant, and let that center growth grow up, and you're gonna get a bunch more branches, and it's gonna make a really good canopy. And
Definitely. We're going to kind of scrog it a little bit this next run, and I might add the second layer once it starts getting the flower. I do have a one that can go across the whole tent, but that'll be coming when
sure,
I get to that point. But I got the self-watering bases. We're going to be trying them out, and I'm going to be setting them up for Macy Infinity. We're nothing to do with them. I love their products, and
they do have good
you know,
products.
yes, and I've got so much of them. It's ridiculous. Like every time they
Same.
come out with something, I'm actually
Yeah.
considering buying the side lighting for the auto tent because then the lower branches will get more lighting, so I don't get that loud from popcorn at the lowers.
Right. Right. Do you lollipop at all?
I
Like
lollipop and I use LST clips. So
okay.
they're these clips that bend the branches
Yeah.
out different ways, and I do that outdoors. We used to do. We would take. I don't know where it's at right now, but it's like a nylon uh, twine, but it's made. It's all 100% recycled. That's what's cool about the company. They make it from recycled T-shirts and stuff, and it's like wool, and they dye it green to make it cool. And I would wrap that around there and then take fishing line and sinkers, and it would hold my
Okay.
branches down.
I
Yeah.
I heard or seen something about that on the Discord.
Okay.
Someone was
Yeah.
doing that. They were tying
Yeah.
sinkers to
Yep.
it and pulling the
Yep.
branches down. I'm like, huh,
Yep. Yeah.
that's
I
pretty
mean,
cool.
what you
Innovative.
do is you take the fishing line and you do a good knot on a piece of that
Yeah.
twine, only a couple of inches, loop it around, and you create a slip knot. And then all you do is
Okay.
basically you got it big, and before you drop it in to put it on your branch, you have a knot in one end, and you just put it around your branch, drop it through, and you're done. It's on there, and
Right.
it's almost like we use in the 4x4 off road industry. They call them bubba straps, and they're straps that are tree savers. So they go around the trees. So when you're using a winch and you get stuck,
Mm-hmm.
that chain or that cable doesn't dig into the tree. So they
Gotcha.
use these straps, and it's the same thing. So you're not digging into your branches, and
All
because I
right. You're
learned
not
that on
getting
my
growth.
last harvest. Yeah, I did it stupidly on my last
Like
harvest, not
grew
thinking
into it and
it did. I used
yeah.
twine, just regular twine, and to tie my branches down my last run. And I had them literally grown into the stalks of my plant.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Became
whoa! I'm
one.
like, yeah, I'm like, that's
Not getting that twine back.
insane. Yeah, and I
Right.
didn't neither. I had to cut them to let the branches kind of grow bigger because
Yeah.
they were holding them down too much. And I'm like, oh great, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Treat all people equally or something said. Is anybody in chat? I don't think a lot of people are here. Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't like to let people know when we go live unless they're subscribed. So most people watch the recap. And then we get the age restriction where anybody over 18. So it sucks. YouTube likes to punish us cannabis channels. So if you are watching and you're out there, make sure you hit that bell so we can let you know, when there's the next episode because we're dropping them. I'm trying to do more content every week, and we've got a lot of cool things coming. Jeremy's going to be coming on to talk soil. So if you like soil and you want to learn, he's the guy to come. Okay, it won't be age restricted now, but it will be once we end it. And that's what happens is when we end it, they will give us age restriction. They gave me age restriction for mixing up my garden soil. No cannabis anywhere, nothing cannabis, not
Wow.
even smoking, not swearing, nothing. And they age restricted us. And then I appealed it. First time I've ever got a chance to appeal it. And they still came back and said it was against the community standards of being people under 18 cannot view it. And I'm like,
Hmm.
we're
What the
mixing
heck?
soil up. Like I'm putting stuff in a tote for soil. Like, how
Wow.
is that? Whatever, I'm not gonna argue, but
Come on,
I did
YouTube.
download Twitter today, so I'll let everybody know when we get a Twitter. We're gonna make the jump over there. I'll start doing some streaming over there too. I don't know how long it'll last, but Twitter is cannabis friendly now. They're allowing
Oh
ads
wow.
and advertising. Yes, they just went and allowed that because Elon is a cannabis smoker. So, I mean, I can't say all his ideas are good, and I'm not saying all of them are bad, but hey, I will agree with this one. So,
Yeah,
hey, we need a place. I've been
for
trying to
sure.
find different places that we can grow at, and I've tried Social Club, and that was great in the beginning. That's another social media outlet app,
I've
and
heard of
we're
that
on
one.
there. Yeah, but it's starting to become all spam botted. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is lame now. I'm
Of
like,
course.
we can't reach out to nobody here, you know? And I got on, let's see what Treat All People said. Both persons and people can be used as plural forms of person. Persons is often used as formal legal context and emphasizes individuals as opposed to. I have no clue what you're talking about, but okay. Sure. But long story short, you know, they age restrict it for everything, and you got to be careful. Like a lot of these
Yeah.
other channels, pigeons, they're not even showing the plant. They're not showing anything to do with it. And yeah, definitely, we do. We treat our people the same, and that's what we try to do. I don't know, but I'm sorry, I can't see your full screen name here, so I only see the first half. So if I butchered it, I do apologize. But you know, with that being said, we're gonna get off the horn here. I'm gonna let you get back to your family. We've been here just over an hour, and I'm gonna
Sounds good.
get off here. I got a joint here rolled up. I'm gonna smoke. I didn't smoke during the show to try to kind of not to. I'm trying
Yeah.
not to a little bit more to see if they'll let us get away with some things here, but
Sure.
we'll see. So with that being said, thank you for coming on the Organically Blunt Show, and you have a great evening.
Thanks for having me, man. You as well.
Definitely.
Have a good night.
You've been listening to the Organically Blunt Show, a cannabis lifestyle podcast that's raw, uncut, and unedited. Thanks for listening to the show. We would like to give thanks to this episode's partners: Grow Strong Industries, the mother brand of Gorilla Grow Tint, Kind LED, and Lotus Nutrients. Use coupon code Organically Blunt. Seedsman Seeds, a trusted seed bank with over 20 years in the industry. Use coupon code Organically Blunt 10. Horticulture Lighting Group, HLG, real efficiency, real yields, and made in the USA. Use coupon code Organically Blunt. Rain Science Grow Bags, one-of-a-kind mesh grow bags that eliminate problems and increase yields. Use coupon code Organically Blunt. Growth Bags, the best curing solution to save terps. Use coupon code Organically Blunt. Captain Redbeard Seeds, genetics that are loyal to the soil. Use coupon code Organically Blunt. Humboldt Seed Company, Humboldt's original seed. Use coupon code Organically Blunt. Fishhead Farms, the maker of fish shit, the most robust beneficial bacteria on the market. Use coupon code Organically Blunt. Sofim Genetics, quality genetics at a fair price. Use coupon code Organically Blunt. Green Wolf Genetics. These genetics come from a wolf pack that runs with quality and no BS. Use coupon code Organically Blunt. Utopic Essential Nutrients. Discover the truth. Use coupon code Organically Blunt. Stream Gardening, world-leading mycorrhizal fungi. Dry tints, because we all need a place to dry that harvest. Use coupon code Organically Blunt. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And in the meantime, follow us on Instagram at Organically Blunt or on Social Club at Organically Blunt. You can reach us also via email at organicallyblunt@gmail.com. Organically Blunt can be found where you listen to podcasts such as iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube, Stitcher, Anchor.fm, and Apple Podcasts. See you next time on the Organically Blunt Show.